Theresa reached out and touched Kaltzit's hair ends. You are here. I hope my strong Kaltzit did not cry this time.
You are always like this.
I am a very lucky person, Kaltzit. Every time I go away, I have my best friend to accompany me. Thank you.
Miss Theresa. Disappear.
Disappear? What are you talking nonsense for, little rabbits? Isn't His Royal Highness still? I obviously hug her. Wisedale, have you fulfilled all your wishes? Isn't seeing me, defeating me, and finally killing me? Don't nostalgia. I will leave completely and will no longer exist in any place you can see.
Theresa, what you said completely leave means that there will be no traces of your information in Originyama.
Yes, I will not allow Originyama to be our prisoner. All the efforts I have made are just for the complete freedom of Sarkas. Life and death, Sarkas should be free. What to destroy, come to cast the stairs. Even if I finally destroyed, it was myself. Dr. Vor, this is the first time we meet. The clips you hear, what kind of person you think of Theresa? Is the founder of Babel, flawless idealist? Or is the cold-blooded Sarkas devil, the conspirator of the war? Yeah, I didn't expect that we still have such a calm and farewell opportunity. A long time ago, a friend said goodbye to me here. I watched him die here, and went to my own death from here. I like this place. But here is also a place I can never reach and visit. It only exists in the memory of nothingness, and I can't reach my poor life. Dr. Lar. Now in your eyes. Yeah? Very interesting answer. You and me. The past and present. The dead and the coming. Time does not seem to be meaningful here. Perhaps at some point, we have said similar words to each other. But what you said is not all unreasonable. There was a person who warned my future, but I knew very well that this was my path. I won't give up, no matter when life and death, no matter where I am. However, what I heard from your mouth is not ironic. Thank you, Doctor. What is lofty? Who should be defined by noble? I poured violence to other ethnic groups for Sarkas' freedom. I abandoned the belief I used to defend with my life, and stood on your opposite side. And Rhode Island, now you have come out of the shadow of Babel. However, it also abandoned some of the concepts that Babel adhered to Sarkas. You use peaceful flags, but use violence to assist oppressors to return suffering to Sarkas. But I can't deny your lofty, just like I can't deny myself in the past. Maybe you think that you fully understand the meaning of lofty. But this sentence is still too heavy for me. However, thank you, Doctor. I can perceive that you did not lie at this moment. If you try to respond to me at this moment, I will be more disappointed. Of course, a small loss is yes. I really look forward to your answers, Doctor. Don't give up looking for answers, if you still follow the existing ideas of Road at this moment. I am worried that you are really ready to deal with what you will face in the future. Keep going, as I used to look forward to it. You are very cautious, and you still have hostility and vigilance to me. Of course, we are still standing at each other at this moment. It doesn't matter. You have not had time to clarify all the mysteries one by one. It's a pity that every time we talk, we are in a hurry. My mission has ended. Many years ago, you and Kaltzit, you pushed me a door to a wider world for me. But I am already the king of Sarkas. I was carrying Sarkas' suffering, Sarkas' fate. Even if my ideals and eyes can cross the false sky, the heavy reality will still pull me back to the earth. At that time, I was convinced that the people who could change Sarkas, and even the entire Terra's future, was by no means me. Nor was it me. The best friend I trust has long predicted the ending. Doctor, Give me a handle. Yes. I am fortunate to have seen the most real you. That person is a wise and gentle person. Despite carrying a heavy mission and wearing a strong shackle, he never gave up hope. I am very pleased. Now, you stand with Kaltsit and Amaya. I can believe that my choice at the time was correct. The result of this result is also determined by your own choice. The rush to meet at the beginning, just to say goodbye to the two strangers. Isn't it? How can you hate it? To this day, after I touched your soul, after touching the truth I could not imagine, I still only regret and nostalgia. Yeah, because I touched your heart, I would even more regret it. We lost the opportunity to pierce. The charm of that person may come from the conflict that is unaccompanied. Didn't you find it? You do not doubt your decision today. What shaped the real you? Everything you have experienced now have you been covering up? Look at the place where we are, Doctor. Are those silent memories, all the truths? Isn't it just by your side? Past, present, future. Originum ascend. Time is no longer defined by the rules we know. You don't remember. You once told me, Origin Yama. This brings countless sufferings to this large land, and also brings countless possible substances. It is also a creation that can be obtained at the cost of hundreds of millions of sacrifices in your time. When you create Origin Yama, what are the expectations for it, and this world? You see, everything recorded in this golden ocean, are they consistent with your expectations? You thought. The fire of Yusaz, the snow of Shirat, the waves of Iberia, all time and space from ancient times to the present. The information of civilization as the torrent of information is quickly passed by you. You suddenly realize, you retracted your hand. You can always surprise people. Doctor, when I was deep in the sea of information, we reunited after leaving. That's my past. But your future. Although you are still looking for your own way, you still want to prove to me. I'm always the same. I want to witness your own eyes to find the answer. But sorry, I still don't go far. Doctor, I have to go too. If you don't want to be trapped in this endless nothing. Goodbye, Jot. I have never met, my friend. No response. On the top of the tower, the white figure had disappeared. Nothing is left.
Miss Theresa, she left.
Doctor, what did you see just now?
We will leave here. The surging waves have stopped. Did you hear the singing of the soul far away? Banshee.
The tower has been restrained, His Royal Highness. The tide was flowing backwards, falling into an elusive hell. The flames of the combustion route cannot light up this boundless night. Where will you go?
Eternal nothingness. Real death. We will no longer stop on the other side, Akin will. Logos. You should be more accustomed to we call you so. You have made your choice. The choice of a Rhodes Island elite staff. The logo stands above the endless information flow, leaving his own traces in the vast ocean, and engraved his reflection. On the side of the reflection, the slender figure stood there quietly. The disturbance of ripples let her body fluctuate and no longer clear. When you passed on my year on the river, I was already waiting for the appearance of an old friend. Alas, unfortunately, Molly Lillian is still unwilling to involve this war.
Mother, she did get me back from death.
In a clever way, it is also in line with her past. She also made her choice. Just like you. I see the posture of you confronting the soul, compared to your mother's posture side by side with me. I miss goodbye to her. Say goodbye to me. Logos.
His Royal Highness. Your body is getting darker.
Leaving is also a resistance. This is the will of our independent choice. Origin Yama cannot imprison us forever.
I don't understand. Where does imprisonment come from? What do you want?
No need to understand, Logos. You just need to know that the soul, the sarcasm information collection, is dispersing in the flow of information that is complicated and unable to parse. No longer read, no longer recorded.
Real death. The kings and heroes no longer respond to my words. There is no one on the other side. His Royal Highness, has there been a lot of souls since today? Is there still a person who ignited the torch on the side of the other side?
No longer has.
Where is the fellow compatriots who died in the future?
I don't know. I'm afraid the answer is too late to be witnessed by me. I have come to an end, and I am a fog of the truth of civilization. I can't touch it, but it does not mean that you cannot cross.
His Royal Highness.
But I have removed the burden of the future, and the souls worry about it. Only Sarkis. The new life comes from the death. You have understood the inevitable fate, but you have not yet penetrated the truth of death. The souls are no longer our cricket, and Origin Yama is no longer the sin of us. Logos, leaving is also our liberation. There is no longer a murmur that delays thousands of years, and there will be no more suffering inheritance of never forgetting. For the first time, we have a future that can be changed. For the first time, we have the right to choose from. There is no surrender here, only death. You cannot kill me. You fucking... Look at these black stones that are unclean on me. Oh. And my comrades, they never came out of the fog. I can't live. I don't want to die. The knife in the mercenary's hand suddenly stopped in front of the dead. He looked at the sky and felt something was leaving. He gradually calmed down from the restlessness of the killing. Alas, is the illusion? Sarkas can no longer live for the shackles of history. We live just to survive, equalizing the struggle with suffering, just like everyone else on the earth.
Yeah, I will group.
Be careful, Paprika. I caught you.
Well, thank you. You can let me down, Miss Innes.
We will find the way to rescue Amaya and Doctor. Don't panic. Your life is valuable than those wool groups.
They were given to me before I set off. And so on. Did Miss Innes feel it?
What do you feel?
Deep in the soul?
I am too focused on the operation of the bones. I need to ensure that the operation of the skeleton will not guess where everyone will not be affected. Paprika, what kind of feeling will it affect our subsequent arrangements?
I can't say it. But looking at everyone's expression, it seems that I feel that this cannot be an illusion.
Yeah. Crying?
Really. But how can it be?
But you, like Osarkas, leave, dissipate, death. Please stay with Rhode Island. Don't question your decision. Thank you, Logos.
His Royal Highness, whether the soul far away can really let us say goodbye to the past, I'm afraid you have the same doubts. Although the other shore is empty, where will the dead soul of our family go like this dying battlefield? His Royal Highness, I will look at our ending for you. There is no ferry, and I will be safe. Without the soul, I would cross it. My singing will ignite the torch on the other side, and I will vow here. Wait until the side of the other side will no longer hear the fellow citizens' anger. When this land, the death of compatriots, can also be rest. The funeral clock stopped.
The golden water surface rippled, and the soul was responding. The kings and heroes, mortals or souls, they are accelerating their departure. In Origin Yama, the traces of Sarkas's existence are disappearing.
At this moment, please show me off for you, and see off for the souls.
The elevation rang from his lips, and he was ready to walk on the water. The young band, she sent off for the soul. The blue feather beast pecks the tears of the white-horned demon. She stroked the pills between the feather beast's eyebrows, and could the soul feel the pain of the departure.
Liz, can you feel it? The throbbing of the soul echoed the murmur in our minds.
Sleeping Liz's eyes slightly moved, and could not give a response.
Shining. Is the situation of Liz still worsening?
No, she will be fine. Margaret, we must meet with Doctor immediately.
Is it because of the change in the sky? The moment it changes, you show strangely. Is this also the conspiracy of the sinner?
No. At least he could not intervene in this matter for the time being. But this must be a part he planned. All Sarkas may be perceived, and an extremely important existence on us is away from us.
I don't know what you are talking about, but in the current situation, any new accidents may affect the war situation. You are right. Doctor should have mastered more critical information. Can't delay. We should set off.
General.
Here it is.
We found you when we cleaned up the battlefield. Fortunately, General, we failed to recapture Life's spy.
Is there only me here? A Scoran?
General, the injury on you. We will take you back to the camp for treatment.
We have delayed the timing. The most precedent thing now is to return to Lentime and find His Royal Highness of the region to discuss the next plan. Go to the Dark Whistle to cooperate with us, and prepare to pass through the theater.
General, look at the blood of this place. Your current situation is bad. The military commission can no longer lose a senior general.
This is a military order. For the rest, the alive Sarkas.
Yes. General, what happened? Impossible. This feeling is...
His Royal Highness. Is this the price you said for the future of Sarkas?
From now on, there will be no traces you have ever existed in Originyama. Will you see them at the end of that road? God, or the arrogant creature of the Creator? Theresa, the moment I felt you passing me with me, I couldn't hear your voice more. Today, I can only hear the dull and boring noise from the empty cave. The road has been through, and everything here is over. Theresa, can you hear my voice? I can hear. Your newborn. Here, we can hear the sound of all Sarkas. The soul was stranded in the unconscious ocean, shouting our name before drowning, looking forward to the guidance. Now that we do not exist at any time, the name where responds the most is Theresa. I could hear the roar of the bones that fell from the star and the stars in high more than 10,000 years ago. Unknown, fear, shocking. We ended the oppression imprinted in the blood from the time. No, we have never ended. Is our resistance meaningful? We questioned ourselves. It will prove to us in the future. What about now? Now we will go far. I answered this way. Until the dissipation, the souls who have never given up against the fight, in Originyama, did the last thing for Sarkas. Fight for all people who are still alive to fight for equal survival. Everyone, go forward. That day, a tired Sarkas girl did not know why she was sleeping in the warm fire of the Kazdel soul-melting furnace. She dreamed of her mother who was far away in a foreign country, and her mother stood in the dark light to speak to her. She couldn't hear it clearly, but she didn't cry because she saw her mother with a smile. Then she woke up, opened her eyes, and saw a white flower blooming on the head. The black dust sprinkled by the melting furnace was burned on the fragile petals, but the halo of the petals became more eye-catching and full of vitality. Death and light together. The girl created the beauty of burning and death. That day later, the Sarkas who passed by the soul furnace saw a girl appearing here every day, and poured a dripping for a flower growing in the flowers of Originyama dust and bones. she presented to Gongming until the day when the flowers withered. Wait. This is... Dabo?
With the help of a friend, the small cloth crossed the long river of tears, and also crossed the unknown golden ocean behind him. In the end, they stepped on the earth and found the plane that hoped. Miss Theresa, do you like this ending?
Of course, Amaya. In your story, my favorite is those friends who accompany the small cloth.
But, Miss Theresa, what is the original ending in the storybook?
Miss Ada, I never remember that I had this conversation with Miss Theresa, but I had imagined countless times in my dreams that this conversation had happened. This means that the story that has never had an ending finally has an ending, and the person who tells the story has never left. I want to tell her that I have the ability to change the ending of the story. The question I couldn't answer that year, I already had the answer. I am willing, and I have the ability to put on this crown. Amaya, Shawabu's friends have never abandoned him, no matter what kind of difficulties have been experienced. If the small cloth people need, they will appear, catch him, and walk side by side with him in the predicament. This is also my wish. I hope that when you need me, I will always be there. She was watching. Me, Miss Theresa. However, what we have experienced is not always as expected. Some of the friends of the small cloth people will be lost during the journey. However, their common memories will accompany the small cloth people to the end. Amaya, I will always be with you, no matter what for.
Missa, are you leaving?
What are you talking about, Amaya? I have been gone long ago.
What? You? Not Miss Theresa.
Amaya, the memories in the dream are very warm. But you should wake up. Go back to your current companion. They need you. Amaya, you will continue. How could I be here? We just left the Internationalian universe. I remember that the airship returned to the sky I was familiar with, and I remember that the original crystals covering the entire ship retreated like a tide.
The effectiveness of the spell has reached the limit, and I'm afraid that it cannot completely resist the impact.
I'm trying to pull the rod. Old things, work harder. Everyone need me. What else can I do? I believe you have the power, Amaya. I will help you. Each inch of the giant ship shook out of the metal. The speed of the felling of the airship was slowed down again. With everything I taught by Theresa, she tried her best to hold the behemoth. The warm power, like a murmur in a dream, surrounds the side of Amaya. She seemed to feel the person who had gone away to go back to herself, and hugged herself.
Miss Theresa.
I am here. Theresa no longer hear her voice. Although she goes far, the answer to the future has left. The original Origin Yama fell from the top of the fragmented building. The answer has been held by him. You won the key to finding freedom from the arrogant master's hand, as you promised to me. But I also lost you completely. Theresa, you have achieved your promise. How can I be willing to walk behind you? I will continue your road that has been halfway up. Rid us ourselves from those who believe that we can dominate our destiny. I will judge the sin of arrogance. And this large land should be in awe of us. This war was over to himself. As for the future, other people have witnessed. He ignored the ancient Victorian throne, who had been dusty for a long time, and entered the unknown darkness. Theresa has opened the door to Estina for him. He is looking forward to it. Behind this door, who would welcome his visit? I have a question. Self-proclaiming giant, self-proclaimed creators, and the evil spirits of the previous era that can dominate the fate of Sarkas. Is it really the only one? Docked.